Hey, it's Monday, and that means we're talking about District Attorney Alvin Bragg having to make the decision to seek imprisonment for DJT or not. Mississippi has said no to housing unaccompanied migrant children in some of its abandoned buildings. And brush up on your sandwriting skills because they may just save your life like it did for this group of teens down under. Oh, God, shoot me now. All in this.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
Episode of Up. But like always, before we get started, if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a news update. And yeah, Alice, let's just start with the Trump news first.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg now faces the critical decision whether to seek imprisonment for former President Donald Trump following his conviction on 34 counts of falsifying business records. With Trump's sentencing scheduled for July 11th, Bragg must decide if he will recommend a prison term or leave the matter to the judge.
Right, so Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg just hit the jackpot of his legal career by scoring a conviction against the one and only Donald J. Trump. But of course, this shit show is far from over, so best brace yourself for what could be years of mind-numbing appeals and legal shenanigans. Bragg, a former public servant who landed the gig as Manhattan's top prosecutor back in 2022, has to decide in the coming weeks whether to throw the book at Trump or just let the judge handle it. And let's be real, the thought of a former president serving time behind bars is as wild as an episode of Orange is the New Black. But that's really not even the craziest part of it all. If Trump manages to snag the Republican nomination, because why not add more insanity to the mix? Bragg's office could find itself entangled in a legal circus act that would make the Ringling Brothers jealous.
Just might find yourself a free man. Right here, right now, I put the offer out. I don't wanna chase you down, I know you see it. You run with me, and I can cut you free out of the treachery of walls you keep in.
All while Trump potentially reclaims the Oval Office. Now, if you live under a rock and somehow missed it, last week, a jury of 12 convicted the former president on 34 counts of falsifying business records, all tied to the good old Stormy Daniels hush money saga. Fun fact, Miss Daniels has come out in favor of jailing Trump too. Guess he didn't sling that D well enough. Also, $20 says she's about to star in a reenactment or reimagining type movie. I mean, the clout's about right. Anyways, prosecutors claim Trump tried to rig the 2016 election by paying off the adult actress to keep her lips sealed about the alleged rendezvous. Trump, of course, denied everything, but the jury wasn't having it. In true Trump fashion, he vowed to appeal the scam, called it a witch hunt, because what's a Trump controversy without the phrase? Oh, and just for shits and giggles, he's also out there saying that he never said lock her up about Hillary, which...
Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people don't say lock her up, okay.
I'll tell you something, though, and it's very, lock them up, you shouldn't lock them up. Lock up the Bidens, lock up Hillary.
So crooked Hillary, wait, crooked, you should lock her up, I'll tell you.
I can't help but feel like he's lying. And let's not forget he's facing 3 other indictments related to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election and that classified documents fiasco. It's a legal shitstorm of uncomfortable proportions. Yeah, uncomfortable seems like a nice way to put it. While the hush money case might seem like small potatoes compared to the others, it could be the only one that sees trial before the next election. So what's next? Well, Bragg has to decide whether to recommend prison time for Trump when he's sentenced on July 11th. On one hand, some of his liberal constituents are probably frothing at the mouth, demanding a blood sacrifice and Trump's head on a platter. But on the other, going too hard could verify accusations of said political witch hunt, so whether Bragg's conviction sticks or gets tossed out on appeal could make or break his legacy. But hey, at least we can say he lived through one of the craziest political dramas in US history, right?
Local officials in Northwest Mississippi have decided not to support a proposal to house unaccompanied migrant children in 2 former casino hotels. The Tunica County Board of Supervisors voted 3-2 against the proposal, following opposition from state Republican officials and the local sheriff.
In a move that totally doesn't reek of hypocrisy, Mississippi politicians are clutching their pearls over a proposal to house unaccompanied migrant children in some abandoned casino hotels. Because, you know, protecting children is only a priority when it doesn't involve having to actually care for them. The Tunica County bigwigs decided to give the middle finger to the plan after state Republicans like Roger Wicker and Cindy Hyde-Smith cried bloody murder. Rapid Development, the company pushing the idea, tried to play nice by scaling back to just 250 kids aged 17 and under. Their lawyers swore it'd be a chill operation, you know, no school enrollments, no visitors, just children locked up contained inside, because that's better. But nope, the local sheriff is a bit too worried about his tax dollars making this a reality, because why help the migrant youth when you could renovate the place for another money trap casino instead? Let's just call it as it is. Talk about defending the children is usually just pretext for cruel policy. If Mississippi really cared, they'd lend a hand instead of leaving kids in sketchy federal custody. But basic human decency is a high-stakes gamble these days.
3 teenagers were rescued from a remote stretch of Western Australia's Midwest coast after their distress message written in the sand was spotted by pilots.
I hit my camera. I don't know if that messed things up. My bad. Anyways, last up, we have a scene straight out of a survival movie. 3 quick-thinking teens stranded in Western Australia's rugged Midwest managed to flag down help from the skies by scratching a desperate "help" message in the sand. The trio found themselves bogged at Hutt Lagoon and Pink Lake, south of Kalbarri on Saturday, lacking any recovery gear or emergency beacons. With no cell service to call for backup, they got creative with some sandy calligraphy that caught the eye of not 1 but 2 pilots cruising overhead. The aviators raised the alarm, and soon enough, local cops and traffic units were deployed to the isolated stretch. The Australian Maritime Safety Authority even scrambled a search jet to pinpoint the stranded SUV's location from the air. After hitting a few tide and terrain snags, officers finally reached the hot and bothered but unharmed group 6 hours into their unplanned outback adventure. The Sandy messengers were reunited with relieved friends and family at Lucky Bay while their abandoned wheels awaited a delayed recovery mission. So, kudos to these plucky teens for some quick seaside thinking and to the eagle-eyed aviators who saved the day. The incident caps off a busy season of outback callouts for Western Australia emergency crews, from activating remote beacons to plucking stranded travelers from the flooded bush tracks. A handy reminder to stay safe and be prepared. Or just maybe brush up on your sandy scrawling, just in case. And on that bit of...
Wilson, where are you? Wilson! Wilson! Wilson!
I'm gonna call it. Now, if you're here at the end, you should probably just hit that like button, or a curse upon you and your family I shall place. Anyways, I'll catch you later. Bye!